Hello everyone, I'm Replay Thai Heretic, and welcome to Yoshi Safari. Now one thing you're going to note is that you're going to see a cursor on screen. That's because Yoshi Safari is a bit weird. Once I actually shoot screen. There we go. The way that the Super Scope worked with old TVs is that it followed the dot system on screen for reflection purposes, so TVs that have that lined red, green, blue kind of orientation on it would be more easily recognized with the Super Scope. And HD TVs don't have that. So in current standards, if I wanted to record a series on Yoshi Safari, I would have to get an old box TV and set up my SNES to it, and do all that recording stuff again, and potentially mess it up again. So, I have a homebrewed Wii with SNES 9X which is the Wii version of a SNES emulator, and I'm running Yoshi Safari on this and using a Wii Remote's motion control. And you're only going to see the cursor on screen for the first for the first minute or so, and then after I do the calibration, I'm going to turn off the crosshair, which can be done with the minus button, but I can't do anything else after that. So, without further ado, let's begin. One day, Mario and Yoshi came to see... Gotta love this reading text. Super slow. Princess Peach. Interesting fact about this game, this is the first game where Princess Peach was called Princess Peach. It wasn't Super Mario 64, it was this one. She told them of a nearby kingdom, a place called Jewelry Land. I wonder why. You know, girls love jewelry. You must go to Jewelry Land. That distinctly pink text that doesn't show up well on an HD TV. Its ruler, Prince Pine, and King Fret, totally different names in context, are in terrible danger. You must go there and save them. Please, Mario, they are my friends. Exclamation point, exclamation point. I think I can speed this up, I don't want to skip all this though. Thank you, you must go at once. I really should actually try pressing the fire buttons, since I think that actually speeds it up. Good luck and take care, both of you. As a favor for the princess, Mario... Okay, I'm just going to try pressing the... Which one's the fire button? I think it's this one. And Yoshi begin on their journey. The princess told them King Fret and Prince Pine had been kidnapped. Okay, that does work. And the treasure of Jewelry Land, 12 gems, had been plundered. Who could be responsible? Could it be that evil Koopa clan? Alright, so the way that this game works is, for basic calibration for every Super Scope game, you had to aim at the center and press fire. And based off of where this shot landed, it would have a deficit. So right now, this would be up slightly, so I don't want that. I want it to be kind of center at least. Alright, that'll do. And then, like so. And the interesting thing about this game is... Two-player mode allows you to play as Mario with the Super Scope, and you have a friend who controls Yoshi with the SNES controller. We're only going to be playing one-player mode, though. And just like that, no cursor, so I don't actually know where I'm aiming. There we go. Alright, so Yoshi Safari, for those who don't know, is an on-rails shooter. I have to make sure that turbo mode is on. So, yep, there we go. So, all you really do is aim and shoot at things. Sometimes enemies drop coins, and 50 coins gets you a 1-up. These gates, if you shoot at them, will switch what path you take, and based on what path you take, you might have to deal with things. On a normal Super Scope, there was a button that was purple. It said fire, and there was a switch that you had to switch to turbo mode. The fire flower increases your power bar, and mushrooms will increase your life. If you lost any health. And also, if you need to jump, you need to press the cursor button, which was on the front handle of the Super Scope. And that's the basic controls of this game. Dang it. Okay, there we go. Alright, that is a berry. I think the berry gives you an increased damage output, as far as I know. I don't 100% know. Anyways, here's our first boss. I think this is Iggy. So this was around the time that Super Mario World had come out, so they kind of used the Koopalings a bit more prominently around this time. Each boss has about 2 phases. Each boss should have 2 phases. Some don't. The basic weakness is you shoot Iggy's robot in the face, and when Iggy pops his head out from behind the robot, you can shoot him. But if you aim just above the rim, you can do some damage on him. I need to let this recharge a bit faster. Oops, sorry. Oh yeah, and if you shoot Yoshi in the back of the head, he looks at you all disappointed. There we go. And that's how you play the game. Simple, easy. You can beat this game in about an hour and a half, 2 hours. But it has scoreboards and everything that don't save. So if you wanted to do like some kind of challenge mode or something, you have to have friends over to play this with. Now let's see if I can't aim this. Okay, that's good. Next up is Mushroom Land. Mushroom Land is desert-like. Let's see here. I guess I can explain the rest of the game real quick. This was one of the few games that released for the Super Scope. There were, I think, 12 games that had Super Scope support. One of them was a game that came with the Super Scope bundled, called Super NES Super Scope 6. And it was a culmination, or it was a collection of 6 games. 2 puzzle-like games. One of them was like Tetris, and the other was a bit like, I can't really explain it. They were pretty unique in a sense. And then there were 3 other games, that were more, like, mature-ish in a way. They were more kind of real in a sense. One of the games was to shoot down missiles that were heading towards something, and they had like a different range, so you had to like time your shots pretty well to meet up with those missiles and destroy them. Another one was you were in like a jet and you had to shoot out other planes, and another one was just to defend yourself on an alien planet from a bunch of alien creatures. And it wasn't really received very well, but the peripheral itself was very good. Like, it was pretty durable, and a lot of the games were actually pretty solid. I can't remember. There was another game that I played from the Super Scope collection called Battle Clash, I think it was called. It was pretty much like 2 mechs fighting. The 2-player mode in that was pretty good. Okay. So this is... I want to say... Morton? No, not Morton. I can't remember the names of the Koopalings right now. This is, Wow, I can't remember the name for the life of me. Anyway, his form is a turtle. After you shoot that little pink spot on his back, he transforms into this fisted form. And you need to shoot off the 2 fists, and then his mouth will open up, and that's the weakness. can't remember for the life of me what this guy's name is. I should remember his name. Okay, that was it. Yoshi Safari was one of the 2 games that I got for the Super Nintendo, or the Super Scope, rather. And I've had them ever since I got them, and I still have the Super Scope and everything to this day. Because the Super Scopes, when I played Super Scope games, I felt like I was in an arcade. Like, I had all of these amazing games that I could play, and I had a couple of on-rails shooters. So it was amazing to have that kind of thing in your home. There we go. Now it's on to Pipeland, or Pipe Island. Yeah, alright, off we go. It's really hard to aim this without a crosshair, because the thing with the Super Scope is there was actually a scope on it. There was something you could aim with on the Super Scope, and I don't have that. I'm going to go left on this path. We seem to be going right a lot, even though I'm left-handed. But this game was actually kind of difficult for a while. Ow, what the... Oh, right. Okay. That path is too long for you to jump over, sadly. This was kind of a game that was a bit easy at first, but the difficulty curve kind of ramped up towards the end. Which is always welcome, in terms of on-rails shooters. A difficulty curve means that it eats quarters, but a game where you've already spent your money on, if it's too easy, then it feels like you just waste too much money on something that's incredibly easy. So it's always interesting to see how a difficulty curve is managed in these kinds of games. Alright, 12 minutes. Okay. There's a mushroom. So the interesting thing about this game is that they give you a lot more time than you need. But the bosses sometimes do take a lot of that time. Like this boss in particular, which is why they give you a timer add-on. Okay, so Wendy's weakness is that there's this flying anvil, couldn't tell you why, that flies over each pipe. And when it lands, and then when it flies over the pipe that Wendy is on, you're supposed to shoot down the anvil. And I'm having some pretty good luck right now. So that's pretty good. Okay. Now the thing about this right now is that you need to be pretty lucky. And I'd say that I'm pretty lucky. Because that was a lot faster than it usually is. Sometimes I have to use the timers on that. I say for this first episode we will go for 20 minutes. We could probably clear out a lot of the stages by then. Actually, if I wanted to, I could handle this entire game in a half-hour span. I don't think people would want that attention, though. So 13 minutes? Yeah, we'll do one more stage. Because then I can get my final power-up. So it's not really hard to explain this game, because each level is linear and you have like a set path, pretty much. This is, I think, called Crescent Coast. I will edit this in post, if I need to. Actually, no, I don't need to edit it, because it just has the name of the level at the end for the scoreboard. It's not really hard to explain this game, but you'll be seeing a lot. Like, this game utilizes Mode 7 very well. The pseudo 3D setting, rather. And this game itself is actually a lot of fun. I wish I could convey that a bit more, but some things you're just not very good at doing. So now I have a star, which means that I'm invincible. So any enemy that hits me won't damage me. However, that means that I won't get any coins from these Goombas, which I want to get another life. The Y thing at the top is a life, and I just got one for getting that many coins. And off we go into the water. We're gonna go down into the ocean. We're gonna kill some things. Kill cheeps and stuff. This is actually kind of a relaxing game in a way. I can talk a little bit more, because it's a bit easy to just aim and shoot, really. So I have a bit more time to just kind of talk and explain the things behind this game a bit better. A bit better than Monster Hunter, anyways. Because Monster Hunter is really hard to explain, because there's a lot of There's a lot of depth to that game. But with this game, it's simple. It's simple and fun, which is hard to come by for these kinds of games. I think this is where I get my final fire flower upgrade. Okay, the boss is a pot, and a bunch of octopi come out. A bunch of little squidlets. I know they're both different things, but I can't really explain them very well. I think they're octopi. That was easy. Okay, let's go... Let's keep going left, I think is where we want to go. I didn't want to have to bore everyone with a bunch of, like... I mean, in a viewer standpoint, this is pretty boring. Not gonna lie, but... the best way I can explain this game is... It's fun if you play it. Alright, this is... Lemmy? Can't remember. Anyway, Lemmy's weakness is the... Or no, this is Larry. Never mind. The weakness is that little circle in the center, and then the second form is this. It's incredibly easy. I don't know how I'm going to handle editing this episode, honestly. But anyways, that has been episode 1 of Yoshi's Safari. In the next episode, we're going to continue on our grand adventure, and hopefully do a little bit better with commentating about the game instead of rambling on. But we'll see how that goes. Anyways, I've been Replay Thai Heretic, and if you like this episode, give it a like. If you have any questions or responses to this, please leave a comment. And if you like my videos, then feel free to subscribe. I'll see you guys next time on Yoshi's Safari.